This podcast contains scenes of violence. It contains adult language and, if somebody did their job right, disturbing subject matter. But listener discretion is strongly advised.
Hey, we get it. The cold, dark vastness of space can be lonely sometimes, and we understand, more than anyone, the desire for a bit of warmth and comfort. But having an open fire in a spaceship is a monumentally stupid thing to do. While open fire-related accidents on spaceships are few and far between, given how obviously idiotic of an idea it is to deliberately set a fire on a spaceship, they do still happen. And you know what this can create? Space litter. Dead ships floating around Gate City could pose a very real threat in no less than 200 years. So it's all of our responsibility to use our spacecraft responsibly, and not make absolutely batshit hobo contraptions out of garbage on them. We're with the Gate City Void Cleaning Association, with a reminder that only you can prevent space litter. This message is endorsed by the Gate City Administration and paid for with funds from the Gate City Endowment Committee.
Fucking nanny state bullshit.
Hello and welcome to The Stars Aren't Alright, an actual play Call of Cthulhu podcast. My name is DJ Bry Guy, and I'm here to sell you SoundCloud raps.
Soup.
SoundCloud soup. Soup. Fucking fantastic. Yeah. I would like to introduce you to our wonderful cast. But before we do so, I'm feeling very optimistic today. I'm feeling like history will not repeat itself, and we have learned from our mistakes. Catherine, could I get a non-geographical location?
Brian, to be honest, I still don't quite know what you mean.
So like a closet or a shower.
I'm pretty sure that's what I gave you last time.
You did, specifically in Gondolin. Was the
Yeah, but that's non-geographic. It's somewhere else. It's in literature.
I mean, it's geographical in Middle Earth. So.
This whole debate really depends on whether or not National Geographic has done a Gondolin issue, you know? So if somebody can look into that and get back to us, so the stars aren't
right at gmail.com.
In a public pool.
A public pool. Okay. Great. Let's unfortunately start with Alex. Alex, why don't you tell us Pyotr's first experience? No, actually, this will be way better. Tell us Pyotr's latest experience with a public pool. And no, your insane lube sauna thing doesn't count as a public pool.
It was open for everyone's use. They just had to ask and book it. The last time Pyotr was at a public pool would have been while he was being an associate adjunct tutor probationary at Unigicity. Or usagicity. Depends on who you ask.
Depends on whose backstory you're reading.
And he would have gone down to the athletic center's public pool / sauna, which is not a pool and sauna. It's a pool that's sometimes a sauna. And he walked in there thinking it was sauna hours and it was pool hours. So he had to swim around as some children learn to swim in a horrifying manner.
Does
Nothing
Pyotr
special about it. It was just horrifying.
You're right. Gotcha.
Does Pyotr know how to swim?
This feels like a loaded question.
I am not confident.
We check his character sheet. He's about a 2 out of 10 on swimming, or 20%.
Not terrible. He can float.
Yeah.
I did not detract points from swim to put them somewhere else, if that's what you're asking.
No, that's how he loaded up his anthropology stat. Hell yeah. All right, well, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Pyotr. Glade. What was Glade's most recent experience with a public pool?
Well, when she was really little, her dad used to take her there.
Aww.
And, yeah, hasn't been since.
Damn.
Damn.
Wasn't expecting that, were ya?
No, we weren't.
Oh no, I wasn't expecting the edgy emo bullshit from Glade's character.
When he took you to the pool, was it in the city? When I was a young boy, my father.
Can't do that. Dungeons and Daddies already did that.
Oh yeah, they really did. Yeah. Then they did it better, but we already knew that. All right. Well, thanks, Leah. Bringing the mood down. No, I'm just kidding. That was really good.
I was trying to figure out a pool that would let you in with a full mask on.
The driver helmet.
No.
And then like floaties.
It's like get out of the pool and the water is just like slowly like just out of the helmet.
Incredible. All right, thank you. Tom.
The last time Alastar would have been to a public pool would have been when he was young with his siblings, and we went down and doing cannonball contests. Alastar wouldn't beat his older brothers, but he did a good job all the same. Long time ago.
How many siblings does Alastar have?
Enough.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, Tom. And Catherine.
Sorry, I'm writing down notes about Alastar.
Oh, okay. Yep, fair enough.
I have one more question for Alastar. Did Alastar ever try to win the cannonball contest by doing a belly flop to make the biggest splash? Did he ever just like put it all on the line and was like, fuck it?
The diving board.
Childhood pecs are going to be red.
Of course he did, but he's not the biggest in his family, so it didn't matter.
Not
Isn't he a big boy though?
the biggest.
Oh, I'm a big boy.
The brands. They're fucking units.
Excellent.
Alrighty, Catherine.
Hello, I'm Catherine. I don't know if Juno has ever been to a public pool.
Yeah. Checks out.
Family pays for a membership
Yeah.
club.
Even that,
Please,
a
the family just bought
membership
the
pool.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
my bad.
If I want to go swimming with other people, I invite them myself, or I am invited to somebody's pool house.
So what was Juno's last experience in a pool house?
Oh, well, I once, maybe recently, enjoyed an afternoon and evening at a political figure's pool house with maybe one too many drinks or bottles of wine. But secrets.
It's George Bush. Jeb was there.
Yeah, but George Bush is not president of the United States. Obviously, he's a future porn star, unshaved.
Jeb is still the governor of Florida, though.
Yeah, obviously.
Jeb.
Jeb. Alrighty. With a unnamed politician. Hell yeah. Well, that's for my notes now. Great. Let's do a little recap of episode 2. So, our heroes return to Gate City. After Alastar used pure riz to charm his way on board the Skibbity ship, the crew
Oh my god.
Guys, I'm trying to break us into the market, okay?
I think we're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's like 100%. After Alastar TikTok danced his way on board the ship, the crew endured gate travel once more to go back to where it all started. On the news, we learned that the manhunt for Pyotr and Lift had been called off, that Pyotr's book was famous. Him and Glade are both kind of rich now, I guess. Deciding not to dock they
Ryan.
they left the gate, made their way towards Frederico's junkyard to see if they could hitch a ride back into the city on his fart rocket. On the way through space, however, there was a massive space power spike which crippled the spaceship, leaving them space floating helplessly through space.
And your world building is just incredible.
Alastar got in touch with his handler, Jax, who refused to save them until Alastar could confirm the title of the book, seemingly willing to let them all die if not. Meanwhile, the mask was having a crisis. Although its purpose is to keep Glade safe, it was very unsuited to mechanical work, but also totally unwilling to relinquish control again. After several failed attempts, the mask went to find Doug to see if he could help. Meanwhile, Pyotr had stolen a lube barrel and made himself a lube barrel sauna tub, which he was heating with a fire while locked in his room
On a spaceship.
on a spaceship. In his defense, the
During a crisis.
computer was now a girl. So, anyways, that played out pretty much as you'd expect, and he ended up in a burn-induced coma with Juno sustaining significant burn injuries in order to save him. Meanwhile, Doug and the mask had a standoff, and Doug psychically invaded Glade's head, giving her the push she needed to throw off the yoke of the mask. With her newfound clarity, she was able to get the ship up and running again. During that confrontation, Alastar had managed to weasel the name of the book away from Juno and sent it to Jax, who then and only then promised to send rescue. With Pyotr in medical stasis, Glade had Henry, who had reverted back to the identity it had when they'd left Gizenshaw Station, run a diagnostic. The ship was in the same state as before, with one notable exception. The communications array was totally burnt out.
Much like Pyotr.
Much like Pyotr. That is where we find ourselves now.
So, fuck, guys, when you better start, because I'm not about to.
Well, if I remember correctly, we ended, after fixing the ship, Glade had realized she was covered in Lift's blood and other blood.
Yes. And we can start with Glade and Doug.
Glade looking at her hands and memories coming back while the mask was on and realizing the many things she had done, failing her sanity check. Just gonna slump to the ground and just be a little paralyzed.
Okay. All right. Doug is, you can let me know if you would let him do this, because you're wearing the butterfly mask right now.
Yes.
But Doug kind of gets a rag. What am I talking about? Doug obviously has a rag on him. This is Doug we're talking about. And he starts wiping the crusted blood off of you.
He's so sweet.
And we can leave them there for now.
Okay. Yeah.
Alastar,
Yeah.
you had messaged Jax, told him the name of the book. He said rescue is coming in about 2.5 hours. But now the ship is up and running again.
I'd like to dial back the case of emergency that we found ourselves in and let Jax know. We don't really need your help anymore. We figured it out. Send it back to the station. But keep the name of the book, obviously. Can't take that one back. Also, rude, firstly, for you to kind of throw my life away. After all we've been through, the only person here with you. Just saying. Send.
You get the red receipt for several minutes, and then typing, and the message comes back, and it just says, where are you headed, and what's your ETA?
I'll respond. We're going to the city, but we have to fix the ship first. I believe they have a contact at a junkyard out here. So we'll go there first, and then make our way on board the station. Sent.
Jax says, just says, send me the name of the junkyard.
I'm going to respond. Why? Send.
Typing. Stops. Typing. Stops. She says, I don't want you to lose another ship.
If it's not my property, I can't properly lose it, can I?
Comes back. Don't be a smartass.
Trying to be funny.
You don't type that?
No.
You get another message that says, I know you're trying to be funny.
I don't know the name. They barely let me fly the ship anyways. We're just along for the ride. Waited out a couple of hours. They're just getting parts. We're gonna be aboard. Everything will be fine shortly. Everyone's gonna go about their business, including myself. Rein it in. Patience, man. Send.
You get a message back, and it just says, I know this operation is an informal one, but I am still your superior officer. If I give you an order, I expect it to be obeyed. Check in when you're on the station with your exact location, and the chat closes.
I'll do so. I'll put my comms away. And was I nearby the medical station?
Yeah, you had went to the medical station. Yeah. By the way, Pyotr, make a con check for me, please.
That's a fail.
A fail, okay. You wake up. And you wish you hadn't. You are in enormous pain.
Oh.
You are not buddies.
No, it's not a Buddy the Bear Pyotr's song. Pyotr's in very deep pain, and you need to take it seriously.
I'm sorry, I'll take you seriously.
No, you won't. Don't fucking lie to me like that.
So Juno, Alastar, and Pyotr are all in the same room. You can see you've been put in one of the stasis pods that the ship has, and they were preparing to put you in like a medically induced stasis.
Where am I? This is... Ow. Oh, where is my skin?
We are on the Violet King Henry, and you have just experienced third-degree burns from your vat of lube sauna.
How could this happen?
You lit a fire
On a spaceship.
It was small and contained. This smells of sabotage to me. Where's that masked lady? I guarantee you she had something to do with it.
Oh, well, before we start pointing fingers, I think that you lit a fire on a spaceship. I don't see how this is sabotage.
Relaxation is very important to a ship's crew.
I do agree that relaxation is very important, but why don't we just get you a massage or something once we get to Gate City? Why did you have to...
Who exactly on this spaceship do you think is giving me a massage?
Once we get back to Gate City,
Can anyone do it with me with no skin?
Yeah, Faith, I don't think he needs a massage right now. In fact, Pyotr, you shouldn't move around too much, man. Look at you.
What's the status on the
hideous.
med bay? I can't stay like this.
Did you burn your ears off as well?
No, that's a separate incident.
That was from a separate incident.
See, she can back me up. on
You're
this.
You're grotesque.
Well, I don't disagree with you.
I may not be your preference, sir. And who are you, anyways?
The person who tried to help you out of this mess.
As much respect as I have for Adam Smith, your accent grates on me, sir. It truly does.
Well, I can live with that. I'm not sure you can live much longer, even if you keep moving around. Or
How far are we from Gate City? I need serious medical attention.
Oh, we could find that Australian doctor back on Gate City. Just below the locks.
The veterinarian?
Oh,
I think
right.
not. Do you remember the unsettling portraits of puppies in his office?
They did stare at me for long periods
The
of time.
eyes followed you. Not just anyone, just you.
I mean, you're not too dissimilar from roadkill. I feel like a veterinarian would be the correct place to take you.
And how many pieces of roadkill, my bonnies, sir, do you know that a veterinarian has revived?
I'm fairly certain you could tell me that.
How many pieces? Zero! Zero's it's a rhetorical question.
Then why'd you ask
Roadkill
it?
is killed. It's dead. It's in the name. Don't take me to a veterinarian. Take me to a real human. Ow! 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 Doctor!
Well, our medical bay isn't exactly online, but we are now no longer going to be
Pyotr holds up
destroyed.
a single burnt charred finger and puts it on your lips and goes,
Smells like bacon.
Tor. You should roll a con check.
Ew.
You love making people roll con checks.
That is an extreme success.
Hell yeah.
You barely managed not to vomit.
Juno, having had many experiences with those less fortunate than her in her life,
She's saying this as Juno. I just want this to be clear.
Yeah.
realizes that Pyotr is in a certain state right now, and rather than recoiling from his disfigured and disgusting finger, she should remain strong. Yes, she grabs his wrist, also burnt and sticky. And
For two different reasons.
mostly the lube, and removes it from her lips. We will find you the finest doctor, and different from the last time we were in Gate City, we do not have to go to underground doctors or veterinarians. It seems as though you have made quite a splash with your book.
I have many resources now, thanks to my brilliance, and I need nothing but the finest of medical care.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you got me instead. So, do we have any bandages in here so I could start laying some sort of false flesh upon the burns?
I have an abundance of eye patches.
Eye patches will do. The more the merrier, actually.
Are you just gonna eye patch me? Because I'm obviously okay with that.
Well,
I feel like you should be able to make a spot hidden check or something, or luck.
Ironic for eye patches, but yes.
surely, I know our medical bay is out of order, but perhaps there are some bandages that I could find, even if the machinery is not functional.
I would say, in this case, let's make to do what you're kind of thinking of doing.
Yeah.
You can make a luck check and then a first aid check. Or medicine.
That is a fail on the luck check.
Okay, gotcha. There are bandages. There aren't quite enough to do what you're envisioning.
Ooh. Tough scene for you, Pyotr. I've got 2 bandages. Where does it hurt the most?
My torso, it's
all right.
It's all across my torso.
Hold up your arm.
And with
Yeah. You'll be fine. Old people don't die from severe injuries often, right?
Are you standing like above me at this point?
Oh, very much so, yeah.
Okay, so there's a Scottish man standing above me who is
How
a
dare you,
burning, charred
firstly.
corpse. Okay, well, Pyotr looks up at you and goes, I hate you!
Well, at least now I know
Brian
where
got
your
the
head is.
You took her away from me. Okay, so Anakin, you are in extraordinary pain.
Oh!
Go ahead and make one more con check for me.
That is a hard success.
Hard success. Okay, you managed to remain conscious.
Oh!
Let's go back to Glade. It's now been a few minutes. You find yourself starting to come out of this stupor that you were in.
Also, it was just like a dry rag that Doug had. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, 100%.
just flaking off your skin.
I mean, he sprayed you first with Windex.
It smells like cabbage.
What?
It smells like cabbage.
Just let him tucker himself out. He's gonna sleep well tonight.
Because of the leftover soup.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Alex, for the record, I understood and still said nothing.
She could have helped you, but opted not to.
Yeah, but you have a grudge, so that's fair.
Yeah.
Glade's gonna lift up her hand and stop Doug eventually.
Okay.
Thanks, Doug. Okay. If you wouldn't mind just not mentioning this to anyone.
I mean, I'll do my best to not bring it up, but you are fully wearing a different mask, and I don't mean to bring this to your attention, but it's kind of noticeable when you switch.
That's not what I meant. Never mind. Just don't.
No. I understand. I was being a shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course, this is what I saw and what happened. That's between us.
Thanks. Okay. Clay gets up and is gonna head outside of the engine room and gonna pass by the trunk. Oh, actually, to turn on gravity, I could probably just tell Henry to turn on, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Glade gets up and says, Henry,
Yes,
can you project my voice to the whole ship, please?
certainly. Beep boop boop beep beep boop 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 boop. That wasn't part of it. I was just having a good time. Go ahead. You can now speak to the ship.
All right, everyone. Gravity's going to be coming back on. So get into position that you're not going to hurt yourself.
Anyone who would like can make either a psychology or a psychoanalysis roll.
Oh, extreme success.
Hot damn. You can reverse hypnotize her through the PA.
Wait, make me put the mask back on?
No. Juno knows. Juno knows immediately and instinctively.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then after announcing that, Glade says, Henry, can you turn gravity back on?
Absolutely. Turning gravity on in 50, 49, 48, 47.
During that
You
time, somewhere in the ship, in the medical bay, Juno goes, Glade? Glade, is that really you? Is that... No, but I... And she pushes off the floor and tries to make her way through the ship.
Make a 0G check for me.
Excuse me. And there's no standard. Everybody gets 0G.
0G, the base skill is 5%.
Oh, we fail. With a 44, we fail.
So you, and it's just to be clear, you don't want to spend the luck, 39 luck to succeed?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
You just go flying through the ship, and you're trying to make your way there, but you're so excited that you end up like putting yourself into this crazy corkscrew spin, and you like bounce off the floor and then bounce off the wall and go up to the ceiling. This goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So a D2 or a D4 of damage?
Let's just round up into a D8. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, D2. Make it a D2 of damage.
D4 because a vat of lube hits you in the face.
I feel like that would cushion my fall. That is a 2.
You take... Wait, so 2... That's your interpretation of the D2 roll. Or is it a 2 on the dice?
A 2 on the die.
Oh, which means 1
No, you
point of
rolled a
damage.
3.
I rolled...
3.
Okay, I rolled
That's
a...
2.
Yeah.
Oh, so you take 2 points of damage. I don't know
Yeah.
why I made that complicated, and I didn't trust you. And that's on me. The stars aren't alright at gmail.com, guys. Please, no, absolutely. So you take 2 points of damage as you fall, we'll say 6 feet onto the hard grating of the ship. Skrong. That's the noise it makes.
And then some lube splatters on top of it.
It's just
Perfect. So now she's...
stars.
and my hair is wet, but I think I heard Glade.
You hear this, Glade. She's right outside of the room. She almost made it.
Okay, I was going to say, actually, if she's making her way there, she's going to pass the trunk that was
For sure.
opened. So...
As you're getting up, nursing this wound, and you are now bleeding from your forehead, you can see the trunk that was there.
Is it open?
I believe so, unless
Yeah, I
Glade
guess-
would have closed it.
No, it was open and everything was kind of out of it,
Yeah, it's
including like her weapons. Actually, technically, the mask was left there.
yeah. The mask is on the floor now with gravity having turned
Also,
on.
the helmet, the broken helmet.
For sure. The driver helmet, I believe, right, is destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juno, in her kind of dazed state after hitting her head, looks at the mask and the driver's helmet, and it's just kind of stunned for a moment, trying to make sense of it.
Okay. Pyotr and Alastar, what are you guys doing?
Wincing.
And what would
at
those
each other.
wincing sounds sound like?
Oh!
Oh, stop it.
I was
Stop
floating, and
it.
now my entire back is touching the gold behind me, and it hurts.
Yeah, stop moving.
Ow.
Quit
Doug.
your whinging.
Comes back into the room. He says, "Oh, Pyotr, my friend, you're awake."
I am Doug, and I very much regret it.
Oh, your name's Doug.
Yeah.
No one told me that. You're just the other person I never met.
Right, and you're Alastar.
Yeah, nailed it.
I believe you guys might have met last episode.
I
Sorry,
They
sorry.
did talk. They did meet.
They did chat and meet. I don't know if
did
they.
I learn his name?
Yeah, I don't know
think
if you
you
guys actually exchanged.
Wait, so
Okay.
you
I think
had,
this
a,
already
Yeah.
happened.
you had a conversation with him, and you didn't learn his name?
I don't think so.
I think
Well,
that
that
did
seems
But I could be
rude on
wrong.
your part.
If I
think it
did
did
learn your
happen.
name, do you know where the bandages are?
I believe we we had a full stock, but then I ran out of cleaning rags, and
All right, Pyotr,
Needed.
you have a forearm that's been bandaged.
That is a very small percentage of the overall burns, and it's still very painful. How far are we from proper medical attention?
I don't know.
Could you inquire? I would, but I'm otherwise indisposed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were busy yelling at the ship already.
Pyotr, we could put you in medical stasis.
Yes, please.
All right.
I think I and the audience would appreciate it.
You look directly at the camera.
I look past the fourth wall.
He's delusional. He thinks he's Ryan Reynolds.
Do you know who he's talking to? It's weird.
Doug begins, the process of putting you in medical stasis. Kind of hooks the IV up. The solution starts running through you, and it feels...
Doug, put the dreams to mind expanding and revelatory, please.
You can see Doug just kind of like, his eye twitches, and he tilts his head a little bit, and he says, absolutely, my friend. And then Alastar, you see him just press a couple of meaningless buttons on the side of the thing that make very satisfying beeping noises. Just gives you a thumbs up.
Thank you, sir. Off I go into the realm of dreams and exploration to find my next great.
The top of the stasis tube closes and kind of freezes.
I love the idea that Pyotr falls asleep before the stasis.
Highly suggestive.
Doug, isn't
Yes.
he just the person who watches porn all day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Did you read his paper that he wrote, the book?
I skimmed.
Yeah, that was probably for the best.
He's a little bit more complicated than you might imagine. Now, you, on the other hand, you're unknown to me.
We haven't really had a chance to introduce ourselves.
And you can see there is like a wariness to his expression. And he says, how did you come to meet the rest of the crew?
I found them when they were boarding the other station.
You found them.
Yeah, well, I was hunting Jesuits, and then I found them.
Do you have any points in Persuade?
I don't know.
Go ahead and make a Persuade check in any case.
I do have a few points in Persuade.
All right.
That's a fail.
A fail? Okay. Is it a critical fail or no?
No, just a fail.
Okay.
Did Juno persuade?
No.
Go ahead and make a power check for me.
Power. That's a fail. I believe so anyways. Does a 98 count as a fail, or?
I think 99 is the
Then
critical
it's
fail.
just a fail.
All right. Hard success for Doug.
He can finally get in my mind.
Doug can get in most anybody's mind.
He's persistent, if nothing else.
You find yourself unbidden. It's like almost like a forced daydreaming. And this kind of like your eyes on focus and you revisit your memories from Dulles Station. And then it goes back. You kind of like feel a little bit of a headache come on and a little bit of pressure in your sinuses. And then all of a sudden you're back in Gordo City on Stevold 5 and you're lying on the dock, your ears ringing from the explosion, and then you're in the pits. The perfect recreation of fists colliding with your ribs, your hands desperately clung to the side of your head, just trying to protect your skull from the rain of blows that is falling on you. And then you're back on Kutain, just for a moment, as your mother is observing the cave-in at her archaeological site with the strangest smile on her face before you come back.
Doug,
Seems that you're a complicated man as well.
seems as though you went around snooping in places you shouldn't have been. There are kinder ways to get to a person's story. Do you think I want to revisit those things?
And I'll let you decide this. Has Alastar had any interactions with psychics before? I will say that they're not common.
I would say probably no. But his comment of seems you're an interesting person as well. He's smart enough to know that.
You can put two and two together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And realistically, CorpSec would have some knowledge of these individuals around. Just given the Project 823. Yeah, I think it was 823. Yeah, you would have some knowledge of these kinds of people.
Yeah.
He he raises his hands and he just says, I had to make sure that you're not one of them.
One of who? Doug.
Take your pick.
The
The
type
Jesuits,
of people. The Jesuits.
the Navy, Tepco,
And
the
you.
man in red.
Man.
And you can see his, like, lip snarls as he says that last.
Between the two of us, Doug, as our friend here lies in stasis, who would be more likely to be in an accusatory position? The person delving around in another man's brain, or the person who just met that aforementioned brain digger? Who taught you how to speak to people, son? There's a kinder way to do things. I'm sure you know that.
Go ahead and make a psychology or psychoanalysis check with a bonus dice, if you would like. You're going to get something even on a failure, but we're just going to see kind of how much you get here.
No, I can't.
Okay. Even on a failure, you read a very obvious thin veil over a gaping, empty wound in this man's soul. And whatever Alastar does with this information, you get the sense that though he is moving around, he's talking, he's coherent, there is a storm behind his eyes. And I feel like Alastar, even on a failure, knows that, because Alastar would know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, you can see his temple starts twitching and a little bit of a snarl forms before he shakes his head, and there is a tiny build of pressure in the sinuses in your head. Your vision just ever so slightly blurs for just a second around the corners before it stops. You're right. My apologies.
How big is Doug? Am I
You're bigger than Doug, for sure. I would say that Doug is like, he's pretty average sized.
Yeah.
He's pretty average sized.
I'm just gonna raise a hand, put it on his shoulder. Not in a menacing way.
Totally. His eyes kind of flick to it briefly.
Doug, I clearly have my own agenda, but I'm not here to hurt people, especially people who've already been hurt. I'm trying to prevent that for the people who matter most to me. I'm sure that's a motive you can agree with.
I can understand.
Perfect.
Well, now that we've gotten off on the right foot, why are you here?
Do you know, you asked me if I was a Jesuit. Yeah, after taking a quick adventure through my memories. You know that's not the case.
I do. You have your own bone to pick with them.
I do. And they were paid by people to inflict that harm. I want to correct that balance in what way I can. Right now, things are not level for people. And if that doesn't change, the people I care about are in danger. So I need to fix it. Does that make sense?
So it's either revenge or protection.
Why not both? You see what they did to me, my friend. The places they put me in. The things they put me through.
It's what they do.
It's what they do.
And I'm not just talking about the Jesuits. It's all of them.
I agree.
After we get off the ship, I'm gonna go my own way for a spell.
Alright.
But I'm likely gonna look you up in the future, because I suspect that we have aligning motivations.
If you look me up, and I'm still around, I'll answer.
And he just nods.
I'm not one to leave a phone unread. Or in this case, a terminal.
And then he puts his hand on the stasis pod. What's Pyotr dreaming about?
Do you know the memes where equations fly at you?
Yep.
It's that. It's 100% that. Equations are just flying at Pyotr's subconscious. And as they pass them, they're always they look right to him, but they're kind of wrong. It's E equals MC cubed, and it's F equals GV times P, and that kind of stuff. Pyotr gets to the end of this, and this light grows. It grows on him, and it grows. And it's like he's coming out of a tunnel and into an entirely blank and featureless plane. And standing there is a combination of Adam Smith, Selma Hayek, because he mistook her for Friedrich Hayek, and I'm going to say Paul Krugman.
Yes. And I know who Adam Smith is.
Pyotr, standing in front of an amalgamation of Adam Smith, Salma Hayek, and Paul Krugman, goes, "Who are you, and why am I here? What wisdom do you have to share?" Salma Krugman Smith.
They all laugh, and it's not in unison. It's kind of this disjointed thing, and then they grow into a like 3-headed beast, and Salma Hayek's head just begins extending from the body, from this elongated neck like a giraffe, and then looks down at you. And then Adam Smith, his face goes to the belly, and then that other guy that you said, who I definitely know,
Paul Krugman.
Paul Krugman, yeah, for sure. His face seems to float down this like waving appendage, and then where the hand should be, his face kind of takes over, and it drifts close to you, and it just says,
"Soon you will join our number, Pyotr."
And Salma Hayek's head cranes down from above, and she says,
"You are going to win so many Golden Globes."
Well done.
But Paul Krugman, Nobel economics winner and noted saltwater economist, what do you mean? Does this mean I'll join the economic greats? And Salma Hayek, how did you continue to post thirst traps into your 60s? I just don't understand.
Adam Smith from the belly, it kind of like opens a bit, and then like there's this slapping sound of a bunch of internal organs hit the ground, and Adam Smith's face does as well, and they kind of like ooze towards you until he's staring up at you from your feet, and then he just goes I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because this is horrifying.
Yeah. He says, is Adam Smith Irish? Is that what
Scottish.
you're saying?
He's Scottish.
Scottish. Okay, he goes,
Pyotr Gaius Maitland, that is no what I mean. You will join us.
and then he bites your foot.
But he's got wooden teeth because he's from the 1700s.
Yeah, so like the like splinters start like poking through the boot and into your skin, and you can see your skin start to like crawl up the splinters of his wooden teeth and join with his face. And then Salma Hayek goes to open her mouth to give you fitness advice, but before she can, the other guy whose name I still remember,
Paul Krugman.
Paul Krugman. The arm comes close, and he just says,
Pyotr Gaius Maitland, be one with us.
and his mouth just opens and opens and opens, and then
Pyotr clicks
slowly
his heels together twice.
they all freeze in place. And Salma Hayek just says,
Abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym.
That's incredible. My God, you're three of the brightest economics. I don't quite understand why Salma Hayek is here, but that's okay. Three of the brightest economic minds in the entire history of mankind, and they're saying I will join them. I must be even more important than I already thought I was.
and as you say that, all of a sudden, the amorphous blob that was Adam Smith's face and wooden teeth starts to draw back from you. Salma Hayek. Sorry. Sometimes with words coming out of my mouth, I realize what I'm actually saying. Salma Hayek's giraffe neck also pulls back, and Paul Krugman, Paul Krugman, the Krugman arm slowly retracts as well, and Adam Smith, just from the ground, he goes,
No, we have tasted you, and you. We have tasted you, Pyotr, and you're no worthy.
and then Salma Hayek goes,
That's right, Pyotr. No Golden Globes for you.
What about an Emmy? Just a daytime Emmy.
Anyone can have an Emmy, Pyotr. Anyone.
and then Paul Krugmeister arm.
What about the choice cabinet appointment in the Clinton administration, Paul Krugman?
He says,
You couldn't even get a cabinet post in the Trump administration.
Ah, no!
and the ground opens up. Instead of opening up into a black void, you just see your father's face below you, enormous, the size of a world. And as he stares at you, and you're floating in space above him, weightless for at least 1 second until his eyes narrow, and he just shakes his head disappointedly, and then you start to fall towards your father's head, this gargantuan thing. And he, and he opens his mouth as you begin to fall into it. And then whoosh, Pyotr remembers nothing else. Alastar, you see Doug with his hand on the stasis pod, just like, what the fuck? He takes his hand away.
Was it all the porn he was thinking of?
I think that would have been less disturbing.
Ah.
Truthfully. I don't want to talk about it.
Doug.
Yeah.
I know we didn't exactly have the best introduction. Do you like whiskey?
I do like whiskey, as a matter of fact, but... And you can see this is kind of like his eyes light up for a second, and then the fire goes out, and it's replaced with something very cold. And that kind of like warmth and friendliness just like disappears, and his face turns into this like mask. And he says, I'm sure that it would be very fun to imbibe with you, my friend, but until my job is done, I need all of my faculties.
Not trying to make your job any harder. My apologies.
No, none necessary. He should be all right. He points to Pyotr.
Should I touched them earlier. Should I wash my hands or something?
That, with Pyotr, that's generally a good idea.
Right, I'll do that over there.
And Doug just kind of shakes his head a little and goes to leave the room. Juno, you are staring at this open trunk. The destroyed driver mask, the mask, registered trademark, is on the floor. Is Glade gonna come back this way? Would that be something that Glade is doing?
Yeah.
We'll say that at this moment, Glade comes in wearing the butterfly mask.
And you see Juno on her back, her like head kind of bent upside down so she can just up like that. So she's looking at the trunk upside down. And she can see the mask and the driver helmet broken. And she hasn't moved for quite some time. She fell into that area and bounced around and hurt herself, and that's how you find her, kind of crumpled on the ground.
Glade walks in the out of the engine room, a little frazzled still, and the moment she sees Juno, her eyes just go wide, and she freezes for a second, and then frantically looking around, rushes over and grabs the mask and slides it into her leather satchel, and with almost like not even recognizing Juno, starts to gather a couple of her things, like her rifle and her whip. And Juno's just lying there still.
Glade, it's nice to see you. Still completely contorted and crumpled on the ground. Hasn't moved.
Yeah. Do you need help? Not making eye contact with you.
I am fine.
She's bleeding out her head.
Here. Everything hurts, but I am fine here.
Okay, good. Okay, okay. And Glade walks past Juno. And her goal is to head to showers.
All right.
Huh. I thought she was going to help me.
Oh no.
As you are headed to the showers, Henry goes, Captain.
What?
Are we still meant to set a course for Frederico's?
Yeah, of course.
Course laid in. ETA, 25 minutes.
Okay. Thanks, Henry.
Of course.
And then Glade, continues. Goes to, I guess, one of the shower rooms. I don't even know what that would look like, actually, on a ship.
I imagine there would be. It's probably like a little handheld device that you'd kind of be able to spray. There is gravity, so it's definitely workable.
Hence the ground crumple.
Hence the ground crumple. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Glade rushes in the bathroom, closes the door, and goes up to one of the sinks, grips either side of the sink, and slowly raises her head and looks in the mirror.
You see the mask staring back at you.
Glade. Fine. Catch me again. But don't forget the fucking prisoner.
And then it punches the mirror and it cracks. And as you look at your hand with a little cut that has formed, a little bit of blood comes out, and you look back at the mirror and you're seeing yourself with the butterfly mask.
Jeez. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. And she rushes into the shower, just starts ripping her clothes off, turns on the water, and is just, yeah.
For sure.
Trying to wash everything off of her and scrub herself down. And
as you are doing it, the sound, the constant stream of water starts to morph in your mind to the screams of the Jesuit as you've tortured him for the last couple of days.
Fuck.
You see why I'm a murdering lunatic? Look what he does to me.
It's all Brian's fault.
You were a murdering lunatic long before he started doing this.
Okay, wow. If that's what she's hearing, then am I rolling sanity? Like,
I will make you make another sanity check.
Good.
I'll get you to make 2 sanity checks. I'm kidding. You do shower. I imagine it's going to take like a while. Or would Glade try to rush the shower to like get rid of the noise?
Does Glade shower with mask on?
Yeah.
Roll for acne.
Don't roll for acne. Don't let him tell you what to do.
I'm not going to fucking roll for acne.
Blade's like John 117.
What?
Master Chief.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just in armor his whole life, so he's just like pale and like covered in zits.
I think she's gonna push through the screams and try to just, and in hopes that like once everything gets washed off, maybe it'll stop.
For sure. Go ahead and make a power roll for me. Just a straight roll.
Oh no! That's a fail. I'm not doing so well.
On a fail, you keep trying to center yourself. You keep trying to just push that sound away. But then at some point, the sounds of the Jesuits screaming morph into the wailing cry you heard from the ship when Lift died, that Doug gave. And the sounds kind of start merging together, but you do manage to get through your shower and play through the pain, as it were.
Wow. Harsh.
Yeah.
Okay. She, gets dressed and once again takes a quick look in the mirror.
Butterfly mask.
She stands up a little bit straighter, takes a deep breath. Fucking get it together. Okay. And then walks out of the bathroom.
Okay.
And heads to the cockpit.
You got it. What are Juno and Alastar doing?
Did Doug leave the room?
Doug left the room.
Well, I'll take a drink myself, and then I'll go outside into the hallway. Would the fate be nearby?
Still crumpled on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Blood coming out her head.
This is fine.
Fate? Fate?
Oh, hello.
Why are you in a ball on the ground?
I took a bit of a tumble and saw some things I have to think about for a little while.
Why don't I help you get up, get you in a chair or something like that?
Oh, that would be nice.
Come on. And I'll walk over to the Fae to make sure she's actually taken care of. When I see the gash on her head, what's it look like? Just surface damage? Or
It looks mostly surface damage. There's a bit of bruising. With her behavior, that kind of dazed stuff, you're like, concussion kind of territory, maybe? At least a mild concussion is probably what you're worried about here.
I'm gonna not so, smoothly. Just do one of these to her eyes, spread them apart to see if they're particularly dilated by the ship's lights.
Go ahead and make a con check for me, Juno.
God. Oh, God. That's a success.
A success. They do dilate normally, so
Right.
it just seems a little bit shaken up. You're not super worried about a concussion.
And you don't have anything that's more important to be doing right now?
I put a bandage on Pyotr's burnt arm. Doug invaded my brain, had a drink, came out here. You're in a bowl on the ground. You're the next person I saw, so...
Did you just say I was a nice person?
I would define you as a crumpled person on the ground.
That's not what I thought you said. Well, thank you for aiding me.
Why don't we get you up, sit you on a chair or something? This is a weird place to find yourself in the middle of the main hallway between places. Are you looking for... Can I help you find anyone? Are you in the headspace to have a conversation?
Is there something you feel you need to talk about?
No. But you did leave the room in a hurry. So I figured you were looking for someone. Wasn't Doug, he was right there.
Glade.
And did you see her?
I heard Glade. And I did. And then she ran in and she cleaned up and kept running.
That's so depressing.
I'm
sorry you
I
experienced
was
that.
happy to see her.
Oh.
And now I am here. And she has her fist just like balled up. Totally balled up.
Oh. Well, yeah, so glad. Yeah. Let's go put you in a chair or something. Do you want some water? Maybe some ice?
Wine is good.
Wine.
Would be good, please.
I can give you whiskey.
Wine is better than whiskey. I don't particularly like whiskey.
Okay.
Glade
Faith.
would know that.
Religious people are crazy. Let me help you up. All right. Why don't we go to the Kong pit? Take you somewhere where you can have a sit down in a comfy chair, yeah?
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I just need some time to think.
And here, I'm going to put one of the two bandages I didn't use on Pyotr. Give it to the Faith. Your head seems to be a bit covered in blood. You might want to give that a dab. Here, I'll dab your forehead a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, you took a scrape, but heads, they bleed a lot. Come on, let's get you through here.
Heads do bleed.
Yeah. Should I get the captain for you? This is...
The captain is lift here.
Who's that?
Oh, I'm mistaken. I might need some time to myself before I see
Is
Glade.
Lift Pyotr's nickname or something?
As he says that, the memory flashes through Juno's head of her coming back around the corner to make sure everyone was following in Gizenshaw and seeing Lift on the ground, bleeding out.
And are we rolling sanity?
You can roll sanity.
It's already not looking good, clearly. But we succeed. Sorry, I was mistaken, and I remember now.
Yeah.
I think it's best I go to the medical bay. Perhaps I can find a friend there.
Pyotr's frozen. And I don't want to make any assumptions, but you didn't really treat him like a friend, more like an estranged pet.
Albert, I don't...
Yeah.
That's just how I treat all of my friends. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So you have a lot of friends then?
I do have a lot of connections, yes.
Connections, not friends. Why don't let me connect you with the man who can't speak or hear or listen to anything you have to say.
He can't speak right now.
No, he's great company. And one of his arms is bandaged, and all the lube is contained in the frozen tube with him. So, less chance of getting sticky.
Is there an opportunity to possibly wash some of my own burns? She, touches at her sticky burnt skin.
Yeah, don't do that. I gave you a bandage. You could wrap that up and...
bandage
Either of you can make
around my
a first
head.
aid check if you would like.
Oh, I can totally do first aid. Do I do it with a penalty die right now?
We've already discovered you're not concussed.
Okay, you're not concussed, so we'll make it a straight roll. But you can give yourself a penalty dice if you believe that's where Juno's at right now.
She succeeds.
I don't. But that doesn't really matter. I gave you the bandage.
She starts to kind of shake things off and the shock off and the fall off. And she goes, well, oh, look, you've given me a bandage. Yes, it's around my head, but...
I was bleeding a lot.
Yes. And I will just... And she starts... And it's done very, very well. And she starts to undo it a little bit and reset it a little bit. And kind of
Very good.
Very, very well done. But is there... Yes, I think I should go see Pyotr.
Yeah, why don't... come with me. I'll sit you down next to him, and then I'll go get you a glass of wine. Where do you keep it?
It's on a pallet next to the lube.
Pallet next to the lube. The lube bath that Pyotr took to burn himself so nicely. Nice Christmas ham.
Yes, I do remember that now.
Yeah, that's how your arm got that way.
Pyotr.
Yeah, and you want to sit next to him while he's an icicle.
Well, on we go.
Right. I'll make sure that Juno gets to the medical bay, and then I'll head off in my own direction to get her some wine.
Okay.
Something you clearly do for people who are in medical.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Someone's concussed. You get them booze. Absolutely.
They're not concussed.
They're not concussed.
They're just bleeding.
Pyotr, you...
Oh!
He keeps making those noises while he's still awake. Dude.
You are back on Elysium, and you're looking down at a workbook. Real paper, real pencil, very prestigious. And it's just a bunch of math problems, and you've been failing math. And in fact, you've been working with one of your fleet of tutors that your parents had hired. And this latest one has just left you with a problem and just needed to walk away. And you're in your bedroom, and through the door, make a listen check with a bonus dice for me, please.
That's a fail.
A fail. On a fail, you just catch a few words. You hear your father's voice.
Ooh, idiot boy. Uphold our name.
Then you hear your mother's voice.
Trying his best. Maybe we can get him in politics or something.
Bit of back and forth. And then finally the door opens and Gaius Galileo Maitland steps in. Image, can you describe Gaius for me?
Gaius is about 5'11", but gives the presence that he is 6'5". Fills a room when he walks in. His hair is slicked back and combed meticulously back so it rests behind his ears. It's about 5-6 inches long hair. Nice head hair. Clean shaven, always immaculately dressed with all of his shirts pressed twice a day. New shirts at noon. He steps heel first. Every step he takes is a little military click to start, as the rest of the foot rolls forward slowly, as though to impress upon the earth beneath him the gravitas with which he walks. Gaius takes 2 steps into the bedroom.
And his gaze flicks disdainfully at the workbook until back to you. He says, "Is this how a Maitland comports themselves, Pyotr?"
It's difficult, Papa. The math problems are of a high complexity.
Today, Pyotr, you do not call me Papa. You call me Sir.
Yes, Papa. Yes, sir.
What you do out there reflects on us, on your mother, and on myself. I demand greatness from you.
Yes, sir. Perhaps in a different field. Perhaps something more of the social sciences.
And you can see his face goes red. He's just,
I could be a wonderful sociologist, Papa.
You do not say those words in this house.
I could be very good. It depends, Papa. It depends.
I am not your... Do not call me Papa!
Context.
Do not call me Papa! Call me Sir!
Yes, sir.
If I ever hear you talk about the social sciences in this house, I cannot believe that we share the same DNA. Do better.
Yes, Papa. Yes, sir.
He just shakes his head, walks out of the room.
Young Pyotr bursts into tears and runs over beneath his bed and lifts up a floorboard. And there under the floorboard is a tiny
Porn stash.
Playboy.
Next floorboard over.
Tiny
One floorboard
Playboy.
over.
Tiny
From the tiny
Nanoporn stash. That one's a lot harder to get open.
is a tiny oxygen tank. And Pyotr grabs that and dives into bed and cuddles with it and cries into it and tells it all of his problems.
Jesus Christ.
As you hold it, you just hear this. And then time is in the way of all dreams, seems to shift and warp. And then your mother is standing over the bed, martini glass in hand. Could you describe Octavia Portia Maitland.
Octavia Portia Maitland is regal, just over 50 in age. She stands tall, taller even than her husband. She has hawkish figures, and it always looks like she is looking down her nose at you. She has long and elegant limbs that end in fine points on each of her fingers, points that almost seem to come to a dagger's end.
As she's holding the stem of her glass, and you know, the tears are still running down your face, your little mini oxygen tank.
I try to hide the oxygen tank and push it down under the covers.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
No
my gosh.
way.
What did you roll?
You're trying to hide an
000.
oxygen tank.
100.
The oxygen tank goes off.
In the way that dreams are, the more you try to hide something, the more obvious it becomes. And as you are trying to shove it under the sheets, your reality blinks in and out, and all of a sudden you're holding it above the sheet and you're just running it down the bed. And you just hear your mother scoff, crying again, Pyotr.
Mama, you don't understand. I could be a fantastic social scientist.
Shh.
I have the most unprovable of theses.
Don't let your father hear you say such words.
He must accept the truth, Mama. He must.
Pyotr, if you want him to love you, you need to do better. And then you go to grip the oxygen tank for comfort. Your hand is empty, and she's holding it. She says,
You give it back, Mama.
Maitlands and Akaritas do not require such hideous little talismans. And then she squeezes it, and as she squeezes it in her hand, that Paul guy's, what's his name? Paul Krugman's mouth replaces her hand and swallows it. And then as you start to recoil, Selma Hayek's giraffe neck comes from under the bed. And she just says,
Pyotr, you need to do better if you want your father to love you.
I'll never learn to tango, Selma, never.
And then you feel these teeth clamp onto the back of your head from where your pillow was, and they're wooden teeth. And you just hear Adam Smith. You're Adam Smith.
Mr. Smith, I add utility, I swear it.
And then that dream ends.
Can we take a beat to acknowledge how great your character descriptions are?
Yeah, but actually though,
so good.
Truly, those are very good character descriptions.
I'm gonna have all of these nightmares tonight.
Adam Smith, no! Not salsa. So
Glade.
Wow.
Smooth.
What's Glade doing?
So Glade headed to the cockpit. Sits down. Henry.
Yes, Captain.
Oh, wait. Fuck. Our comms are broken, aren't they?
Your outside communications. Yes.
Yeah. So I can't send a message out.
You can't send a message through here, but you are close enough to Gate City that you can attach your personal data center to the network and use it that way.
Glade will do that.
Okay. Who are you messaging?
Or she wants to call. Can you call?
Yeah.
Yeah. Frederico?
Okay.
Yeah.
You call and then it rings for a while and you think it's gonna, go to like a voicemail kind of thing before he finally picks up and he looks very like frazzled.
It's you. Glade, right?
Yeah.
You're back, I suppose?
Yeah, we're about 25 minutes out. We still need to do some repairs to this ship. I just want to give a heads up that we're coming in.
Okay, did you guys arrive before or after the outage?
The outage?
The entire station just shut off. Everything's back on again, but...
The entire station?
The entire fucking station. It's all over the news. A lot of people are hurt. It's really bad. The gravity generators went down, which has never happened.
Interesting. They don't know why that happened?
I haven't heard anything, no.
Huh. Okay, good to know. Everything's back up, though.
At the moment, yes. I'm just checking, my shop, make sure everything's not broken. It seems to be okay at the moment. So you're coming here. Are you going to be docking with the station? Or no, are you coming to the yard?
To the yard, yeah.
Okay. And so the ship needs repairs. What's broken?
So our landing gear?
Oh, like it's malfunctioning?
No, it's torn off. We had to make a quick getaway.
Like all of it? All of your pieces of landing gear?
Yes? Question mark from Leah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, period from Brian.
Yeah, it's all fucking gone. So, and there's still a lot of work on the med bay I didn't get to. So I will be looking for some extra tools and parts for that.
All right. Shit, a full set of landing gear. It'll take me a minute to look up the parts, but this is not going to be cheap. You should let Lift know that the Admiral didn't really leave any money to cover like additional expenses. He'll have to pay for it. Or maybe your rich friend.
Question for you.
Yes?
If Lift wasn't able to pay, who would be the next person it would fall to?
Well, it gets a little complicated. He was the one who took over from the bank, but if the payments aren't made, the bank will probably just repossess it. The Admiral used a lot of his clout to get this ship situation sorted for Lift.
And would you be able to remind me how much was left on this ship?
I can. Let me look it up.
As Brian looks it up.
As Leah forgot.
No, it's okay.
It's a lot.
He says,
There are still 8,688,750 credits owing. And the payment, next month's payment is 173,775 credits.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess, don't order anything if you need to. Just look up what it would cost to replace that landing gear, and we will see you shortly.
Okay. Happy trails.
he cuts the connection. Does anyone want to do anything in the 25-minute interim before we can just fast forward to that?
So, and that's when I started to ask them, well, that's what I think, but what do you think? And I don't really remember what they said as she's talking to Pyotr, who's totally conked.
Right, yeah, in the in the stasis pod.
And she's just been talking to Pyotr. And I mean, the drinks weren't very good, but the food was okay. And she's just been talking to Pyotr this whole time, just rambling on.
From inside the stasis chamber, you hear a small... which immediately freezes. It's just a little bit more ice on that.
Little frozen methane. It must be very cold in there.
From the doorway of the medical bay. Do you want that wine?
Did I ask for wine?
Jangle a bottle of red.
Ooh, wine. Oh,
Yeah.
what a good idea. Will you share some with me? Pyotr will have a glass too.
Oh, I can't be bothered to touch the stuff. Here, take it.
As you pass off the wine, Alastar, your personal data center buzzes.
Yeah.
It's from Jax.
Ugh.
Who is that? Do you mind if I would love to talk to them if you'd let me.
It's a message.
I'd rather not.
Are
One
you
moment,
sure
I'll be right back. I'll be
she's
right
sitting there and
back,
like reaches across? and
I'll be
tries
right
to
back.
reach-
Here, take the wine.
Oh,
Now, enjoy. Here, let me uncork it for you.
oh, what a gentleman. Pyotr, will you have some? And she just starts pouring it onto the stasis pod.
It freezes on the exterior.
Hello, Faith. Yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah.
Ah, well, it's just nothing quite like a bunch of friends having a glass of wine together.
Yeah. What does the
Cheers
message
to you, Albert.
say? And to you, Faith.
As you check the message, it's from Jax, and it just says, "Get the book."
Rounding back into the medical bay. You know what, Faith? Why don't we have a glass of wine?
Oh, why don't we? I will. And she just starts pouring wine onto the floor.
Oh no, here. I'll find something in the medical bay that could act. A baker, maybe.
Make a luck check.
I don't know. Oh! No, I'm not burning luck. So.
You
no.
fail?
Yeah.
Yeah, you find a couple of bedpans that look like they haven't been used.
Perfect.
There you go.
I'll hold out the bedpan for myself.
And as you hold out the bedpan, she grabs your wrist. I don't know why you agreed to come with us.
Agreed.
Why you latched onto our ship like a barnacle.
Oh.
And I have to admit, I do like you just a little bit, but I don't trust you.
Is that the way you talk to the man who brought your wine and is willing to drink it out of a bedpan?
I have said worse things to people who have brought me wine.
Well, Pyotr's asleep, obviously. It's a worse thing to him.
He has never actually brought me wine.
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. Pyotr, you don't deserve the single drop of wine I gave you. And she pours more wine on the stasis spot. You have a lot of work to do here.
In what way?
I can't tell you exactly, but we were a crew forged in fear and tragedy. We are not easily broken, although it may seem otherwise. You must prove yourself.
To you.
I don't like this look you're giving me.
The look of a person who sees another person who's known, what? A month of fear in their entire life.
I have known more fear than you give me credit for. I grew up in the church.
Fear of God is one thing. The Almighty is inevitable in your mind. No matter what you do, good or bad, it's coming to you. I would wager, very rarely in your life, Faith, have you had the opportunity to look at someone in the eyes as they threaten to end your life.
More often than you'd know.
In the past month. Yeah, maybe. But more than that, I'd wager no. Faith, you give me the characterization of someone who's out at their depth on a ship of people she barely knows, but is attached to through trauma, difficulty, perhaps personal strife. You wanted to sit down and have a chat with me. I hope you realize that means I have a chat with you too. I've spent my life around troubled people. You don't know what I've been through. The suffering I've been through. The fear. The pain. Don't assume I can't fit in with you, the barely bruised miscreant, amongst the rest of your heavily scarred crew. Now, could I have some wine in my bedpan, please?
With just a stern, unblinking look straight into Alastar's eyes, she pours wine into the bedpan.
Take a drink. Refreshing.
I thought you wouldn't touch wine.
Well, friends like these, you know.
I wonder what's changed.
Appetites.
From behind, you hear a voice. For the love of soul, now we have 2 therapists on this ship.
Yes!
And Glade's in the doorway.
Ah, Captain. Do you want some wine too? There's a second bedpan.
No, I'm good.
Ah, suit yourself.
I wanted to let you know that we're going to be arriving in about 20 minutes.
Perfect. You need me on the Kong pet.
Juno,
Glade.
you got patched up, right? On the head?
Fairly. And she just points to the one bandage around her head, still clutching her hand incredibly tightly. Just one.
Good. Okay. Yeah. You are fine then. Awesome. Okay.
What's with the new look? It's different.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, fair enough.
Have you seen Doug?
Yeah, I spoke to him recently. Don't know where he went. Left the room. Then I went and found the Faith. She was bleeding out her head. All that good stuff.
Don't give her too much wine.
Nah,
And
I
Glade
get-
turns around and walks away.
Juno's holding the whole bottle of wine. Just pouring it on Pyotr.
So you're not drinking, you're pouring it.
True, that's true.
What's that about? New look for her? It's weird.
Glade is complicated. But I am glad. I'm glad to have her back.
As in, she left.
In a sense. But we all have demons.
And hers control her?
I think that's quite enough wine for you. And Juno gets up from the bed she was laying in the medical bay and wanders off into the rest of the ship. Totally aimlessly, just doesn't want to be here.
Well, Pyotr, see me, man.
You look at Pyotr, and the entire window of the staging unit is just encrusted with frozen, like, ice wine.
Well, wasn't working well anyways. Yeah, let me get you a bedpan, pal. I'll put a bedpan on it and split half my wine. And just sit there drinking wine. Yeah, and then I'll respond to Jax. Tough ask. Everyone's disembarking when we get on the station, I'd wager. Why do you need the book, man? Odds are we'll find everything we need here. Can't you just trust me to get what we need? Send.
There's a bit of a pause, and then a message comes back, which says, like we trusted you with the ship.
The ship I salvaged from a place that was trying to sell me out as some sort of weird gladiator. When we lost everything else. Sure, yeah. Don't get high and mighty with me, man. You're my superior officer. But I found you after I could have left. Put some faith in me, yeah. Send.
There's no reply for like a minute or two. And finally it says, fine, who has the book? You can make a psychology check or a psychoanalysis check if you would like.
I mean, I'll try, right? There's no point.
Nobody has ever made a successful psychoanalysis check on a text.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Were there any emojis in the text?
Yeah, so
It's the mood or something.
yeah, like there's the dancing salsa girl and
So
then
good.
a cucumber and then a lion face. But no, I'm actually just imagining like Corpsec messaging like MSN, so his lyrics are like, you know, wake me up. Bring me up with the little like song notes beside him.
Yeah.
Like MSN. On a fail, yeah, okay, you fail.
Yeah.
He's just being a dick. Jack's being a dick.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. I'm not gonna respond. Not immediately. I was told to make contact on the station. I'll reach out when I get there.
Okay. Is Alastar particularly tech savvy?
Depends on what form of tech we're talking about. If it's ships, for instance, flying them, yeah.
Like piloting, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like programming or computer use or anything like that.
Computer use, it's basics only.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll get you to make a computer use check.
Right.
And because of your training, I will give you a bonus dice on this.
Okay. Haven't been rolling well all night. Good work. Ugh, begrudgingly, I will spend 1 luck to succeed.
Okay. Success on a computer use check?
Library use?
Library use, computer use. Okay, yeah. For sure. As you are staring at this message, you're just kind of like pissed off. You're not going to respond. CorpSec has basically given you guys like a very aggressive firewall program for your personal data center. And typically speaking, you guys don't have location services on your devices on. And you're just about to kind of, close it, but then you look up in the top corner and you see, dink, location services has been turned on. Someone is tracking your personal data center.
My personal data center. Is there a panel on the back of it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to take it off. What sort of power source is keeping this thing in line?
AA battery.
Perfect. I'm going to take out one of the 2 AA batteries and put it in my jacket.
Okay, the device powers down.
I'll wait until I get on the station and further away from these people who are just trying to live their lives.
Okay. You guys make it to Frederico's without much further ado. I'm going to roll some dice quickly. As you are looking out through the viewports, you can see he has like kind of disassembled a lot more of like the wrecks that have been kind of towed to his junkyard in the interim. And you can see the kind of little like of his engine, the engine's on his little shuttle as it's kind of like moving him around. And then it turns towards you. And as you kind of bring the ship in to a stop in the junkyard, you do get a docking request. Ha.
Don't.
Who wants to talk with us?
Does it say who it's required? Yes, Catherine just shot Brian.
I still have the Nerf gun.
Did she actually hit him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hey!
In the arm. Like,
Oh, okay. Grazing.
Does it say who from?
Yep, this is from Frederico.
The docking?
Yeah, the docking request is from Frederico. He's in his little shuttle outside.
Okay.
His little fart shuttle.
Okay. Yeah, from the cockpit.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, Glade. Henry, accept it.
Very good. And then ship kind of shudders. Everyone feels it except for Pyotr, who's in a dream.
The craziest dreams.
The craziest fucking
The
dream.
worst dreams.
He comes onto the ship. Who's the first one to meet him? The Juno?
Oh, Juno's 100%. She knows that we're going to see Frederico and we're going to go see somebody, and she's holding the bottle of wine by the neck.
Right. How much of it is gone at this point?
She poured at least like 3/4 of it onto Pyotr.
Jesus. So it's mostly empty.
It's mostly empty.
All right. Okay, tight as hell.
Frederico, how are you doing, my dear?
Hello, Miss Engiven. It's, you're having a bit of a party, I see.
Party at Wednesday night. When you live at this level of status, every night is a party.
As you say that, you flash back to the bag of rocks on the floor of Gisenshaw Station, covered in Lift's blood.
And she holds her fist even tighter, just not the one holding the wine bottle, but the other.
Are you okay?
No, but we do persevere, don't we?
I suppose we do. Is Lift here, or is Juno or Glade rather? I have the and he holds up his little like data center kind of clipboard scenario, and he's I have a quote for the repairs.
Lift will not be joining us. Lift no longer captains this ship. And she looks down and looks sad. Glade is our captain now, and actually I imagine she will be quite reasonable for now.
Oh, And you can see, or you can hear in his voice as you're looking down, that kind of comprehension. He goes, "Oh no, I'm so sorry."
You knew in what state we left the station. We have been on a long run, Frederico.
I can see that. I'm very sorry. And you can see he's just kind of, he doesn't know what to say.
I would ask something of you.
Of course.
We may need help again, whether it to be getting off of the station or concealed within it, or perhaps getting some type of intelligence from around or outside the station. You have a lot of connections. While you seem to be just a junkyard, you collect parts and ships from all over. If you were to help us, I would be eternally grateful.
Well, I can absolutely tell you what's been happening on the station since you've been gone, kind of broad strokes. And yeah, I know a few people I can maybe put some feelers out, but is there specific information you're looking for?
Thinking of Lift in particular. Our dear friend, Doug, mentioned he has a lot of work to do, and I want that work to be as seamless and easy as possible. So, as is my specialty, I shall exercise my connections to make that happen for him.
Okay.
Within reason and within your ability, please do what you can for him and for us, if possible.
I'm not promising anything. I don't want to do anything illegal. It's what I do here is, it's already a kind of tricky situation for me, but go ahead and make a persuade roll.
That's an extreme success.
An extreme success.
Yeah.
And you can see him just kind of like, you can see him doing that kind of hedging, and then he just looks at you and shoulders sag a little bit, and he just nods. Of course. Lift seemed like a good man. I'll do everything I can. Do you know where Glade is, so I can discuss this with her?
Glade should be at the helm.
All right. Do you want to take me there? I know my way around. I did work on this ship a little bit, but...
Then do you want me to show you around? Because I have...
Do you not want to see Glade? Wait, so that's none of my business. I'm being a nosy Nancy. You're right. That's none of my business. I'll go to the cockpit. That's fine. You can continue your grieving. And he points to the wine bottle.
Thank you. I will continue my grieving. And she releases her fist a little bit, and then you can see it white knuckles again. And she just kind of stands there.
He just awkwardly goes to kind of move past you, but it's like a narrow hallway, and he's like, I'm just going to squeeze by.
You don't have to get so close.
Of course. My apologies.
Have some decorum.
Would you step a little bit to the side?
Sure, fine.
And then I can, okay, great. All right. And then he makes his way to the cockpit.
So while this is happening, or while we're, about to be docked, Glade would have wanted to go find Doug.
Okay. Henry finds him for you. He is down in the engine room, and he's just kind of sitting there with his eyes closed, kind of legs crossed. It just seems to be almost like meditating.
Glade kind of just knocks on the wall.
He doesn't open his eyes. He says, yes, Glade.
Huh. Yeah, it's a neat trick you got. Look, Doug, I don't know what your next plans are, but after being reminded of what this ship costs to run it, this isn't something I can carry. And, I mean, you knew Lift better than anyone, and so I feel like this is your ship.
His eyes kind of open. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do with this ship, Glade. And I don't know if... I think it's going to be a while before I'm going to be able to come back onto this ship.
I don't think I plan on coming back ever, so...
I see. We'll have to...
Well...
You know, I never really thought about the logistics these last couple of days, and it's funny, you know? I mean, that's what you have to do, because they're just gone. And all of this stuff is still there.
And it has to go somewhere, doesn't it? I guess that's up to us.
Yeah.
Maybe we sell it. I don't know.
Like I said, I think that's up to you. I had Federico draw up a quote for what's needed to get the med bay and the landing gear fixed. So you'll have that, and you can decide what you'd like to do with it, whether that's selling it. But I'm going to leave you to that.
But you want me to oversee the repairs and everything? I don't have any money. I can't pay the man anything.
Well, I think probably like what you said, selling it is probably your best option. But no, this ship doesn't belong to me. I got my own debts to settle.
All right, Glade. I'm gonna need someone like you. I'm gonna burn this whole fucking thing down. Or at least as much of it as I can before they put a bullet in me.
What would you even use me for, man?
You good with a gun?
Just lots of people good with guns.
Don't you want revenge for what happened to him?
See, if you truly wanted revenge, I wouldn't be alive right now.
You can see his eyes open. A single tear tracks down his face, and he looks at you, and there is a deep, deep anger towards you there. And there's a little bit of, just for a second, so brief you almost think you imagined it, there is a pressure in your sinuses. And he takes a deep breath. I know what it's like to cut parts of yourself away when something really awful happens to you. I know what it's like to hide it somewhere deep. Sometimes we drink it away. Sometimes we find something else. And he kind of gestures broadly towards your mask. At the end of the day, you didn't shoot lift.
Doug, fuck, man. I know I'm only, I don't even know how old am I. I haven't been around that long, but I've been around the block. And you want to burn it all to the ground? Like, we don't win against these people. They take everything from us whenever they want, however they want. And there's never any payback. Whether it's the fucking Jesuits or fucking Tepcor or the Marines. That's just how this fucking life is.
And you can see his fist clenches. He just goes, yeah, I know, Glade. But that's what I'm fucking sick of. I don't know how much longer I got left. I'm not young anymore. I don't care if I win. I'm just gonna make him fucking bleed. But forget it. You're not in? You don't want a part of that? Alright. I'll see you. I'll take care of the ship. You can see his face has just kind of gone like cold and distant.
I don't consider many people friends, Doug. So thank you for what you did for me. And I don't know. Maybe I'll see you around. And Glade turns around and walks away.
You hear just one small, soft sob before you go out of earshot. Federico finds you. He says, Glade, it's good to see you. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. You have the quote, I assume?
Yes, absolutely. And you can see he's just like immediately so much more comfortable talking about business after the interaction.
Yeah.
And he just opens it up. He pulls it up here. He says, okay, good news. I actually have some salvaged landing gear. It's from another kind of ship, but the coupling is actually compatible with the coupling on this ship. Should work. You won't really have to install any new subsystems. It's used, so I'm able to give it to you a little bit cheaper. 10,000 credits for the landing gear.
Look, Federico.
It's going to be another 6,000, and he just keeps going. Another 6,000 to replace the other systems damage. That'll also kind of cover the labor as well.
I'm assuming you have all this written up.
Yeah.
Okay. You can pass all of this information on to Doug.
To Doug. This is the alcoholic homeless man.
He now owns the ship.
Sole proprietor. I'm the one ship man, Doug.
I mean, you're not wrong, but he's of more sober mind as of late. So.
Okay, How about you just leave your ship here for a little bit, and I'll pass the information along to Doug, and then whoever. I'm assuming you guys would like a ride back to the station.
Yes.
That makes sense. I can help you with this. Let's put everything else off for now until. It seems like you guys have been through a lot. And this is. And he kind of waves
the big billies. This is I don't know, Glade, I'm a mechanic, okay? I don't know how to talk about this type of thing. This is hard for you. Just take some time.
Dude, I'm also a mechanic. You don't need to talk about this.
Okay, yeah, good. I mean, not good is bad. I'm sad for you. I'm talking about it again. Do you want to go back to the city?
Yeah, let's go.
Great. And he starts heading back towards his shuttle. Are you putting the word out that train's leaving the station?
Yeah, so, Henry.
Yes, Captain.
2 things. 1, once we're done speaking, can you announce to the crew that the shuttle will be leaving for the docks?
Certainly.
And secondly, I am officially passing over the captaincy to Doug.
Processing. The alcoholic homeless guy?
Yes. Yeah, that guy.
Understood. Thank you, Glade. And then message over the intercom, which just says, Frederico's shuttle is leaving for Gate City shortly. Please make your way down to where he is docked, which is the place that it is. And he gives you the list of the specific airlock that Frederico has docked to. And he just says, Additionally, Glade has stepped down from her duties as captain. The new captain is Doug.
What? Henry,
Yes.
does this bed that Pyotr sitting in have any sort of anti-grav thing?
No, but it does have wheels. And you see like wheels just kind of pop out of the side.
Damn. Old school tech. Secondly, Henry, don't you know that Doug's planning to leave?
That is outside of the purview of my responsibilities as a computer.
Well, Henry,
Yes.
goodbye. I'm gonna wheel Pyotr towards where I gotta go.
It's incredibly heavy.
It's on wheels, dude.
It's incredibly heavy on wheels.
I'm very strong.
Everyone is kind of crammed into this little shuttle. Frederico brings you back. I imagine it's kind of an awkward ride in the shuttle.
Pyotr's on
insert-
ice.
Yeah, please insert elevator music here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glade's just looking at the ground the whole time.
They're staring at the ceiling.
Yeah. Eyes closed, head up. We rocking out, baby.
You guys make it back to Gate City. It takes about 10 minutes or so to make the flight back. You go through the back of Frederico's shop out into the dockyard of Gate City. Where are you guys going?
Is anyone else taking ownership of Pyotr's status? Or is it just me?
That's a great question.
Like, is Juno just like, church time, let's go? Head off towards the nearest congregation? Is Glade helping out at all, or is it just me standing there?
That's a great
behind?
question.
Glade is not rolling Pyotr along.
Jesus Christ.
Juno is too preoccupied with Glade.
Jesus Christ.
So just to be clear, do you guys all fuck off and leave Pyotr with this stranger?
I would come back eventually.
Yeah.
Or send somebody. And you look hateful.
So let's go around. Juno, what are you doing?
Through that whole ride back to the station, while Glade is looking down, Juno is just looking at her mask, looking at the satchel she has, and still she has gotten rid of the wine bottle now, still holding tightly onto something in her hand.
Right.
Once they get off of the shuttle, she, not trying to conceal herself, follows Glade.
Frederico's standing there with you, and he's just like you, Alastar. He's like, so, are you going to look after him?
Do you know any nearby veterinarians?
He says, there are none in the dockyards, but there's one in the Nexus Market of Gate City that I know of. It's very good off books.
Off the books.
But, I don't know. Pyotr was associated with the university. Why don't you Usagicity?
Did they have the appropriate medical technology to take care of this man?
There's a university hospital.
So students,
Yeah, presumably.
veterinarians,
Also presumably.
perfect. Well, what's your name?
I'm Federico. Who are you?
Alright, I'm Alastar. Goodbye.
Okay, great.
Wheeling this man. Also,
One of the wheels doesn't work.
is Doug also leaving?
Doug just starts like walking away looking very preoccupied. He's one of the last to walk away. He's definitely within earshot of you.
Doug!
Yes, my friend. And he just kind of like shakes himself up.
I don't mean to distract you from your purpose.
I appreciate that. And he turns to go and continue walking.
Fair play. You know what? Call it as it is. I look down at Pyotr with the bedpan of wine still sitting on on top of the tube.
Right.
Pyotr, you're lucky I'm not making you walk there. Federico, how do I get the fuck over to the university or whatever place that the less impoverished people here go for an education?
You suggested you could take like a taxi or something.
Would it fit him?
They probably have a roof rack.
Right.
Almost like a Thule box on top of a
Just
car.
really into it.
Guess I'll put the battery back in my personal data center and call for a taxi.
Okay. One comes to get you. You put Pyotr on the roof.
No, fuck you. I'm making you role play the taxi driver, putting Pyotr on the roof.
Yeah, taxi driver shows up and he just kind of rolls down the window.
Hi.
He's like, got some luggage?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to put it in the trunk?
Won't fit in the trunk.
Nah.
Do you have a roof rack?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tie it to it.
Got any rope?
Don't you have clamps or something?
Maybe. And he just kind of...
Yeah, you want
Opens up his
to
door.
do your job or something. Like, come on, I'm paying you.
He, looks in the trunk. It's like, yeah, I got it. Clamp.
Perfect. We just got to strap him to the roof, right? And you take him into Usagicity.
Oh, yeah, do you need me to help you?
What? Like, tie him to the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And he very begrudgingly helps you hoist Pyotr's frozen body onto the roof of the taxi. And he clamps it. And he says, all right, hop in. Usagicity.
Thank you.
Usagicity campus.
Usagicity. Do they have a medical wing or something?
Yeah.
Great. We'll go there first. Let the students have a poke at him. A horrible burns. Do you have a bar you like to go to, or a place where you know, spend all your money on terrible financial advice?
Yeah.
Can we go there afterwards? I'm just going to drop him off, and then I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
I have a book I have to read eventually.
Okay.
Great. Let's go, man.
Wait, who has the book?
Juno. So, Alastar.
Yeah.
Not me.
Wait, did you steal the book?
What?
Not you, not going to you?
Yeah. Oh, unless you're getting there. Oh.
I'm getting there. I'm getting
Okay.
there. I'm
Okay.
getting there.
Okay. Cool.
Hold your horses.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's
Goodness
do that.
gracious is dead.
Let's do that.
Strangled to death.
Goodness gracious, forever in our hearts.
If you guys weren't such fuckers, goodness gracious may have still been alive.
It's like, yeah, we made you squish
You
a horse.
brought that horse into this life, Tom.
I did.
So-
Specifically left goodness
And
gracious at
Catherine
home.
made it leave because we made her angry.
We made her
So-
angry. Catherine,
Remember, if you have a relationship with Catherine, don't get pets.
Or just don't make me angry.
How did I took care of a beautiful horse. I don't.
Soul might be a forgiving god, but Catherine is not.
Catherine is not.
All right, listen to Catherine's 3 shots. The call center of Cthulhu, if you haven't already. Yes, Glade, you notice Juno following you.
Okay, Glade's gonna walk far enough that it's not like any busy crowds or anything like that.
For sure.
And for Flair's sake, she's gonna, around the corner of something, she turns and she's gonna wait there.
Okay.
It's kind of out of sight of Juno.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me, just because
She's not trying to be stealthy.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying,
She's
that's what Glade's gonna do.
Yeah, she's waiting to. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then waiting for Juno to come around the corner.
Okay.
So it's kind of in a private-ish area.
For sure, in a private-ish area.
Yeah.
Juno, you come around the corner.
Juno just made a spot hidden check and failed. so she's gonna.
So you walk past.
She's totally gonna walk past.
I was gonna say you walk into Glade physically, like you physically walk into her.
Okay. Yeah.
You collide.
Why are you following me?
For the first time in a long time, Juno doesn't say anything.
What?
I know.
Shit.
The stars aren't all right.
The stars aren't all right.
Down.
She just hugs you in like this big, like tight embrace. What are you gonna do now?
Take 2d20 of sanity damage.
In the distance, a cab drives by and a tube goes flying off as it corners. You see 2 guys get out swearing and tie a bag up on there.
Wine ice is just everywhere.
Pyotr's just lying in the gutter, like all of his limbs entangled.
You're a fake.
Shh. Go back to sleep. Yeah.
Go back to your fucked up dreams. To that end, though, Alastar, could you make a spot hidden check for me?
This is actually gonna happen.
I succeed.
You succeed. Alastar.
You notice someone stealing Pyotr off the
It's like frozen academics is like the new catalytic converters.
Get the fuck away from him, you straight scum. Come on.
I mean, yeah, the guy with the ankle grinder fucks off.
Can we have an in-between episode of just this drive?
Yes, absolutely.
All of the 30 minutes of just Alastar.
What happens is that you, on that successful spot hidden check, you know how to check for a tail, and you realize that there is a car following your taxi. You're getting, driver says, so we're just about to pull into the university hospital.
What does the car look like?
It looks like kind of a nondescript, a gate city style vehicle. So it's like not typically something you'd see planetside. It's much smaller, but it's, just kind of nondescript. Looks like a civilian vehicle of some description. Tinted windows, though. Heavily tinted windows.
Does the medical campus look particularly occupied?
It looks reasonably busy. You arrived at essentially kind of like midday.
Perfect. All right, cabby man, what's your name? Stephen. Perfect. Help me get this man off the roof. Help me wheel him towards the students who are inevitably excited to, patch together his weird burns. He got lubricant burns. And then I want you to drive off to that favorite bar that you like to go to at the end of the day.
I've still got another 4 hours on my shift, man.
How much money would you make?
2,000 credits.
Be honest with me, Stephen.
100. 100 credits.
Let me front you 200 and you go to the bar.
Okay.
Great. I'm going to put something in the back seat though, yeah? I need to grab something out of there. Make sure I don't have any of his weird gunk laying around. I had to put him in the chamber first.
Yeah, no, there's a cleaning fee.
Yeah, exactly. I want to skip that. So I'll make sure I tidy up my stuff after we get him on the wheels, yeah?
Okay.
Perfect. Stephen, help me get him off the roof.
Okay. And he helps you. He unclamps it, helps you lift Pyotr down. As you have pulled into essentially like the emergency. Yeah, he helps unclip it. On your successful spot hidden check, you can see that the car has kind of like pulled into the parking lot and is kind of like circling as if it's looking for a parking spot.
I'm going to very quickly type into my personal data center responding to Jax now. On the station, at the unit, you suggested the unit just at the hospital. With
It's actually a collaboration between two different academic institutions.
Perfect. I'm going to let them know that...
It's the University College of Gate City
dealing
School? What is it? Institute. That's
Institute, Technical Institute. Dealing with someone who's got terrible burns across the body. Last known owner of book vanished in crowd. Sent. And I'm going to put my personal data center in the back seat of the cab. I'm going to wheel Pyotr towards the students.
Okay. Go ahead and make a fast talk check for me.
Over text?
Can I say the right word?
No, bad. Okay. I'm very clearly lying over text message.
He puts like the sweating emoji.
Yeah. I send the He's lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No worries. Just checking. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No.
It is over text, so yeah, don't worry. That is being taken into account.
Oh, bro, I big failed. Not giga failed, but I rolled a 94.
Okay. All right. So you put your personal data center in, and then Steven's just like, you forgot your phone.
No. Get me yours.
What?
Get me your data center.
What?
Give me your data center, Steven.
Why?
I'm offering you a trade. Mine's better anyways.
There's so many dick pics on this, man.
I enjoy that. Give it to me.
100 credits.
I already gave you 200, Steven. Do you want 3?
Yeah.
Why not 250?
Okay.
Great. I'll make sure he gets paid 250.
All right. He hands you his data center.
Perfect.
Lux green, turgid penis.
Perfect.
Yeah, 100%. It's look, you know who I am. You know who I am. So he gives you his data center. He just kind of takes yours. He's like, huh, all right, and then drives off. Ooh.
I'm gonna make sure Pyotr. I'm gonna call down some students. Hello, help, please! I found this man. He fell off the roof of a taxi. I need help.
Into a stasis pod.
I mean, he was in the stasis pod. He got burned. Help, please, students, fix him. And I'm gonna roll him,
just like towards the
towards the students.
Some people come out to grab him, and there's like, well, who is? Okay, we've got him. What happened? Like, who is he? Who is he?
You don't know him? He's the famous author, Pyotr Maitland.
Pyotr Maitland. Okay. And then
he's rich. He can pay for whatever treatment you give to him. Fix his body. He has terrible ears. He probably has scurvy. Help.
You can see, the one of this, like, obviously some like med student is just like tired, like, yeah, okay, fine. And then his eyes go wide as he types in Pyotr's name, and he hits a button, and like 6 fucking like orderlies come out, and they grab the sides of the thing, and they like rush him in. He's
yes. Save him.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was crazy. His tube came flying off the roof of a taxi cab.
What?
Yeah, I don't understand it either, but that's how I found him.
Okay.
Anyways, bye-bye.
What? Yeah, and then you presumably fuck off, and you can
I'm
going
to go to the parking lot where the car's circling.
Okay, as it... yeah, for sure. Make a spot hidden check for me, please.
That is another success.
Another success. Okay. You can see the car has been parked, and the person in it has gotten out. As you're kind of like scanning around, you can see them kind of like, you just catch a hint of movement off on the other side of the parking lot as they like have kind of like ducked behind another parked car.
Still gonna walk towards them.
Okay.
If I saw them duck behind the car, they're not clearly, well versed in subterfuge.
Totally.
So I'm gonna just walk towards them.
You see, it's kind of like eyes peek out, and then they just start running.
Do they look familiar?
They do not. No, this is not someone you've seen before.
Start running.
Okay. What's your speed?
Faster than theirs, 9.
9? We won't get into a chase then. You are absolutely faster than this person. You're running and you slowly like start gaining on them, and then you can see them like eventually they're just kind of like running through like some of like the busy streets, and they turn around. Eventually they kind of like run themselves into like an alley. It's like a dead end. They just stop and they look around, and then they see you coming. They just raise their hands like, whoa, sorry man, dude, I don't want any trouble.
Don't you?
Look, it's just he just paid me. He just paid me to, I don't know,
Tell me the name.
He said to call him Jax.
What's your name?
Steven.
2 in one day.
But with a PH. That cab driver was with a V.
Good to know. Steven. Are you some sort of member of Corpsec or something?
What? No, I just do odd jobs for people around the city.
What was your job?
I just was meant to follow you, okay? He gave me your location.
Give me your data center.
I don't want any trouble.
Give me your data center. You
Okay.
don't want trouble?
Okay? Make a spot hidden check for me.
That is a hard success.
You see his hand start to move, and it's moving a little bit too quickly to be going for a data center.
Right, I'm gonna cut his hand off with my sword.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and make a fighting brawl check for me, please.
What is it?
Extreme success.
Holy shit. Okay, on an extreme success, you see his hand dart down, and you can see, like, as you are drawing the sword, just kind of this, like, practice, like, flicking motion, you can see him with his other hand, had lifted up his shirt, and there is a pistol there that he was going for. And with that flick, you just cut off his hand, and it's so fast that he just kind of, like, mindlessly shoves the stump against the gun, and just, and he looks down at the stump of his hand. He's like, holy fuck, man. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna kick him to the ground.
He falls to the ground.
Gonna put my boot on his neck. Steven. Choose your last words carefully, son. Where is your data center?
His eyes kind of on focus. And he just says, may his light shine upon you. And he loses consciousness. And that is where we will end tonight's episode.
Cliffhangers!
Thanks for making it this far. So ends episode 3. Unigate summary incoming next Sunday. This podcast is edited, mixed, and mastered by me, Brian Gushgarian. All the music in the podcast is composed by me. Special thanks to Alex, Leah, Tom, and Catherine for lending me their talent for this. You can find us on Insta, TikTok, and Twitch at The Stars Aren't Alright, or on Blue Sky at TSAA Pod. You can support us on Patreon at the link in our bio, and chat with us on Discord using that very same link. But as a reward for making it to the end, I would like to remind you that the pistol shrimp can snap its claws shut so quickly that it creates a cavitation bubble, leading to a sonic boom. Most of all, thanks to you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Cliffhangers!